So today, Shadow Empire. This is so exciting to be playing this game. Of course, I'm very grateful the opportunity Slytherin and Matrix Games have provided me, allowing them to stream through their site for their game. Also, we want to say a big thank you and a warm welcome to Vic if he's here. I'm not sure if he will be, but I didn't mention it to him in particular. But Vic, who's developed this game, VR Designs. Of course, we have to give a shout out to the person who made the magic all come together. Now, if you've been tracking these streams, you may be noticing down here in the bottom left that there is some evolution of numbers. We are getting very close. We are approaching. I mean, there's no. If he uses conventional numbering, this is the number after 0.99 is 1.00. So we should be getting very, very close. Welcome, Chemistar. Welcome, Munin. Welcome, Unknown. So today we'll do a start from scratch game, and the reason why is because there's actually some new, never before seen by Tortuga mechanics now. I mean, the game is evolving. It's beta right now. So, of course, the disclaimer: everything you see here, anything you see here, may not be representative of the final form of the game. Most importantly, I can tell you that there will be bugs here and there. I mean, I'm expecting them. There's also going to be things that Vic may see and decide that he wants to improve upon. So we're expecting all those things. Which means, yeah, of course, everything's in flux, right? Things will be changed. Now, today, what do we want to do? I'm thinking, I'm leaning towards unclassified, but I'm a democratic man. I'm a person of the people. If there's one in planet type in particular you'd like to see, let me know. The ones that I'm going to try to stay away from, today at least, are Seth class and Siwa class. But Moon, Planetoid, I mean, Moon might be even doable. We might be able to do a full playthrough of Moon before the stream ends. 2-hour stream is planned. So I'm on the west coast of the United States. It's 10 a.m. here. Do plan to end this by noon. So that's 3 p.m. Eastern time. So, if anybody has any strong suggestions, we'll probably go with unclassified if I don't see any overwhelming voting power in favor of one of these planet types. But still, I mean, it's a lot. The unclassified could be anything, by the way. We could end up getting a Seth class, a Siwa class. So, I haven't myself done the lava planet type yet. I'm a little nervous about it, but one of these days I'm gonna do it. Siwa class is always great because you have a lot of resources. It's not too crazy. Maybe Beret. I'm not sure I've done an ice planet start either, which is sounds interesting to me. Could be. So I see one suggestion from Munim to do Limos. Look at it. There's an overwhelming suggestion. It's unanimous at this point for Limos. So why not? Let's pick this. Not quite desert, but not much better. This is kind of like a Seth planet light. There's water somehow. Yeah, let's do Limos. Okay, so detailed planet generation. Let's do that. We'll try to go through it pretty quickly, but I just feel like you can't show this game off without showing a detailed planet generation. Fog of War, well, that's interesting. We could do complete Fog of War, which means we don't see anything. We can do complete after colonization, which means that we know the we know the planet when we're making it. No map, otherwise complete. I actually get these two confused. I can't remember what the exact difference was because my choices are usually complete after colonization. After colonization. That's right. So this is the one that you don't see the world after it collapses. And no map otherwise. This is a new one that has been added. It was actually added a while back. Probably even since the last stream. I just haven't used it yet. Maybe I should do this one and we can just see what it's like. Let's do no map, otherwise complete. One human player. maybe we should do a 2-zone start today to speed things up a little bit. It'll show a little bit more dynamics than I've been able to show on the stream. Now, of course, there are people doing playthroughs of this on their channel. I hope everyone is familiar already with Das Tactic. He's been doing a lot of content on this because he loves the game, and who wouldn't? We'll start with an initial army as well. That sounds fun. This will essentially speed up the opening. And let's start with tech level 4. As far as I know, this tech level 4 is not too advanced. It's basically just the first tier of stuff release, and then tech 5 is actually substantially different. But we'll take a look at tech level 4. I don't think we need to slow down the development speed at all. Although Das Tactic and I were talking about this, and he mentioned to me that he does do slower, and he appreciates that, so one day I'll have to do that. We'll also start with basic 4 councils. And I think beginner difficulty is always good for showing off. Since regular has been, well, I guess we can do regular because we will start equipped to deal with the miners and the militia. I mean the marauders. So let's do that. Okay, so planetology, what do we have? First go at this, we have a very tilted planet. We're gonna have some pretty severe seasons. We go with this one. Can't see this. Gravity's always relatively light. 27 hours. Relatively big planet. I always like to re-roll. I never take the first one. 1.2 billion. This is a relatively young planet. Oh, okay. I like this one. I don't know why, but I just really like this one. And we're going to go with it. 1.7. Severe seasons. I don't know if I've ever pointed this out, but there are seasons in the top right. You can see what season you're in. Let's go with this. Geology, 99% plains. That sounds awesome. This is the first time ever I don't want to re-roll. Like, this is just a perfectly flat planet. There's basically nothing here but a little bit of water. What an interesting planet. I'm not a huge fan of the marsh system here that we're seeing. I don't like swamps because I like armor. Maybe we'll re-roll once. Just don't give me too many mountains. Okay, you gave me too many mountains. I should have stuck with it. Let's see if we can re-roll something which has less than 10. Ooh. Oh, good heavens. This is very cool. So it's full of oceans. Interesting. I like this a lot. I like this a lot. So this is going to be interesting, especially if somebody ends up in the middle of these like water areas. We'll see how Vic's done city generation with huge stuff, huge amounts of water. All right, the biosphere is mostly carbon dioxide. A little surprised with all this water that there isn't some kind of oxygen in the atmosphere. Could this water be not water? I'm just trying to think. Okay, so this is... I don't remember... yeah. Okay, I was just trying to think, like, how if this water is evaporating, what is it evaporating? I guess it's just H2O. I'm not a scientist in as far as, like, environmental or atmospheric stuff goes, but I'm just trying to put together here what this might mean. But yeah, no, we have carbon dioxide, some xenon, and nitrogen. I mean, basically almost nothing except for carbon dioxide. So this one would be, I can re-roll the biosphere. Oh yeah, I can re-roll it. And this will, change things ever so slightly. As we can see, basically didn't change anything. In fact, the carbon dioxide concentration got a little bit worse. By the way, I think you guys can pick it up in the background. My mic is not very unidirectional. It's mostly omnidirectional, unfortunately. But we have work from home situations. That's why, actually, that's the good news, that I can actually be here and do this for you at this early hour, because I can shift my hours thanks to work from home. But there's going to be some background noise. I kind of like this one because I see some breaking up of the planes. second. Okay, so let's go with this one. Okay, 52 million people. I like this. This will give us some runes. You can actually already see the runes here. Well, let's just pop up this map, the mini map, so we can see what this has done for us. Yeah, look at this. This is so cool. Sopolar, like this. You can imagine. I love to create like the lore of the planet that I'm looking at. I like to imagine this is like you could write a book on this planet as is. That this is like the city by the sea, you know, the one that's surrounded by all that water. And you know, it'd be even better if they had one like right here. Do they have one on this side? It does loop. I mean, it does loop around. Are there any cities over here? No. We see 3 features. Oh, yes. Yeah, so some ruins here. Big water area here. No cities exactly by it. The landing. There's always a landing city. Samania. Okay, and then there's a lot who have chosen to live just out in the nowhere in the desert. Now, this is not where the final cities necessarily will be, but it's where we're going to see some ruins, I think. So hopefully I start over here. That would be a fun start. I mean, I don't know if it'll be a good start, but it'd be a fun start. Okay, so let's go with this. And now the apocalypse has happened. 1.5 million people are left. Most of them have become farmers, some scavengers, and some raiders. We don't like the raiders because those are marauders as far as I can tell. So I'll just scroll down if anybody wants to pause and read the exact events of the Dissolution War that have caused us to get to where we are today. An insane warlord completely destroys Zelarar, murdering all citizens. Oh my gosh. Is that where we're on? We're on Zelarar? We must be. We are not. We are on Sasonia A. Zelarar might be one of the... Oh, it might be... Zelarar, I bet you, was one of the original cities. So this is kind of cool. We have one called Mars. Oh, there's Zelarar. So Zelarar has been completely wiped out by an insane warlord. And look at this. We have Osnabrück, which is the city by the sea I mentioned. And look at, you have Nassau, which is like the city in the marshes. I don't know, I like to create these little worlds for myself. Yeah, we have Altonia is the city by the sea. Forget the other one. What did I say was the city by the sea? No more. Osnabrück is the city by the lake. Everything needs to be the city by the something, you know? Just very interesting the way this is all generated. And look at they actually snaked a road up here, which is so... You have to imagine that that's what would actually happen. You know, you have a city on this very precarious situation. Just like, you know, there must be a lot of fissures over there. Although there's not, I'm not sure there's any water life. I didn't check. Very cool. Just, I love the way the map generation is done. I feel like if you need to write a book about a planet, a sci-fi planet, or even any planet, you can just use the map generation here. Generate yourself a world that you can pretend was your own. It's so good. Anyway, we'll continue with this. Whoops. We'll continue with this. So, 3 majors and 31 minors. Well, we're one of 3 majors. That's positive for us, especially because we are starting with technology a little bit more advanced, so we should be able to easily conquer minors. Now, that's going to lead to a lot of unrest, as we've seen, but that's okay. Alright, the Mars Union. Oh, so we're Mars! Interesting. I'm going to say we are the... Okay, so the Mars Union. I kind of want to keep the name Mars in there somehow, because it's pretty cool. It's apropos, right? Especially if we're on a desert dish planet. I mean, there's a lot more water on this than real Mars, but... The Mars Tortuga Union. And we are High Lord and Ruler. Let's go with some random colors today. I'm going to take a red and a... Does that look terrible? Probably. You know, really not as bad as I expected, but I want that to be a little bit lighter. There, that's a lot better. In fact, I think I want the red to be either darker or lighter. It's kind of sitting in the middle for me. Not bad. It's so cool the way you can... I mean, hey, I haven't found a reason to choose anything but flag is blocked. I just love that. We can also choose our symbol over here. I always am partial to the fist because I do love democracy. We have our swords here with a little bowl over the top. There's the Federation type symbol. Lots of skulls. Okay, that's kind of cool. I hope I get that one for a Dune playthrough. Or we can do a tree with a wolf. That's a very interesting. I don't know who would make that as their logo. So us, the Mars Tortuga. You can determine which one is the tree and which one's the wolf. The Mars Tortuga Union. We'll go with this. Oak Tree! Welcome, Oak Tree. Oh, Corrupt Drug. Sorry I didn't say hi to you. Welcome as well. The great cities were destroyed, blah, blah, blah. And we get to set up our government. Well, today maybe I will go with enforcement. And we will use the mind. We use the mind to enforce things. The one I want to stay the most away from is autocracy. And the reason why is because we're going to become extremely autocratic just by nature of conquering other places. It ends up happening, I've found, that you have to go a bit autocratic. I mean, I suppose it makes sense. When you're not liberating them democratically, it's not going to be a democracy. Like, we're just going to take you over. We'll go with meritocracy, though. You know what? Maybe I'll go with democracy for this one. I think that they're both good. Meritocracy I usually lean towards, but let's mix it up a little bit. Lanzer, welcome, says this game reminds me of a less graphics intense game of Planetfall. I think you're referring to Age of Wonders Planetfall. Okay, so let's see where we are in the world. And this also will be what this map Fog of War type is. We are High Lord and Ruler of the Democratic People of Mars Tortuga Union. Our Zeitgeist is going to be Time of Efficiency. Okay, I have to say I don't mind that. We'll gain Public Economy bonus points. Okay, and in 6, this is going to come to an end very quickly. In 6 turns it'll come to a full force, and 5 turns after that, it'll be over. We receive these. Oh, life support failure. That seems less than good. A lot of these we're definitely not going to be able to use at first, but... Okay, our Ascension speech. What do we want to do? Well, shoot. We can, like, find a way to, like, severely enhance meritocracy right off the get-go. For those of you unfamiliar with this game, it is a 4X war game, I would say. It's a 4X war game. You're going to start... So let me look at the map. How does this... So this is... all show... Okay, got it. So this seems to me to be partial Fog of War. I'm not sure the exact difference between this and... Yeah, here we are out in the middle of nowhere. Oh, and we are starting with 2 cities. So we're starting with Zalamar. The place where, you know, Zelarar